How's it going, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Jeff Benjamin with 9to5Mac. In this video, we take a look at the top macOS Monterey features. And there's a ton of new items. But before we get started, a brief word from our sponsor. 9to5Mac is sponsored by Clean My Mac Hacks, a name that's synonymous with keeping your Mac in tip-top shape. First and foremost, Clean My Mac X is from MacPaul, diligent Mac developers that we trust. Other Mac cleaning apps exist, but Clean My Mac X is unlike the rest, not only because it's trustworthy, but because of its design and ease of use. So what does it do? It helps to tune up your Mac to its maximum speed. It includes dozens of tools to help you find and delete invisible computer junk, freeing up storage and organizing disk space. It fights Mac-specific malware and adware, protecting your computer. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. For the next 2 weeks, MacPaul is offering viewers a 5% discount. Click the link in the description to get it today. Special thanks to MacPaul for sponsoring 9to5Mac. In macOS Monterey, there's finally the ability to easily erase all content and settings just like you can on iOS. Just open up System Preferences, go to the menu bar, click System Preferences, select Erase All Content and Settings, enter your administrator password to open the Erase Assistant, and it's going to walk you through everything that will be erased along with all the settings, media, and data. It will also get rid of your Apple ID, all your Touch ID fingerprint, all accessories paired with Bluetooth, and Apple Wallet cards. So click Continue. It'll ask you to sign out of your Apple ID to turn off Find My Mac and all your various Apple services. So once you click Continue, this is something you definitely want to make sure you know that you want to do prior to doing it, because this will literally delete everything on your Mac and there's no way to get it back. So make sure you have things backed up if you need them. And you get a nice little warning there. It signs you out of all your Apple ID account services, signs you out of Apple Wallet, but it's going to give you one last chance. Says, hey, all data, settings, and apps will be erased. This cannot be undone. So that's it, folks. If you click Erase All Content and Settings, that's it. All your data is gone. It's wiped out. And you're basically restored back to a fresh, clean install of macOS, which is a great feature in my opinion, because previously it was very cumbersome to go in and set up your Mac as a new Mac. It just wasn't very intuitive like it is on iOS and simple, straightforward. So here we go. This is the aftermath of erasing all content and settings. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here, and eventually it'll ask you to connect your mouse and your trackpad, but obviously I'm on a MacBook Pro, so that doesn't really matter. So it's going to ask you to go in and select your language. I'm going to do that now. And then it's going to want to activate your Mac, so you're going to need to connect to Wi-Fi or hardwired Ethernet. So I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and now it's going through the activation process. Your Mac is activated. So now let's go ahead and restart. And once you reboot, you're going to be back to the initial macOS setup screen with the Hello menu ready to go. So this is what you will see upon using Erase All Content and Settings, a fresh, clean install of macOS Monterey. So if you often sell your Macs to upgrade, this is going to be something that you're going to appreciate, no doubt. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this new addition to macOS. Now let's talk about another experience feature, and that is low power mode finally comes to the Mac. So all you do is go into System Preferences, Battery, and then you can enable low power mode for your battery. Your Mac will reduce energy usage to increase battery life and operate more quietly. But what's interesting is you can also enable low power mode when connected to a power adapter, and in that case your Mac will reduce energy usage and operate more quietly. So basically, if you just want a quieter machine, maybe you're charging your Mac, you want it to charge maybe a little bit faster, not use as much battery, that's a good idea. Now another experience feature that I really appreciate is automatically resizing windows. So when you move to a different external display and the window is a different size, it will automatically resize to match that external display. So right here I have a maximized Apple Music window, and watch what happens when I drag this over to my MacBook Pro, because this one right here is running on my Pro Display XDR, 6K display. But watch what happens when I move it over to the MacBook Pro. It automatically resizes just like that. Now let's talk about the traditional desktop and screensaver update. So you do get a new desktop wallpaper, actually several new desktop wallpapers. Of course, you get the standard macOS graphic, which looks great in my opinion, and you can switch between light, dark, or automatic mode to automatically switch between light and dark depending on time of day. But then you see the green color. This is the hello wallpaper, so you can switch between light or dark. Let's show you all of them. You have the yellow, light, dark, orange, light, dark, red, light, dark, blue, or I guess purple, light and dark, gray, light and dark, and then your typical macOS wallpaper, just like that. So these look great on that new iMac as well, as you might imagine. Now you also have the new Hello screensaver. So we'll go ahead and just preview that. There are several screensaver options that you can go in and adjust. So click that and you'll see you have the different themes, 3 available themes, or you can select all to mix and match between all 3 of those. You also have show hello in all languages. I think there's like 34 languages, and you can match system appearance between light and dark mode. All right, let's go ahead and preview this guy right here. Let's see how it looks. So this is, folks, the new Hello screensaver. This is a generative screensaver, so it's going to be a little bit different. You get different camera angles and position, so a fresh new look each time, different colors, different languages. Like I said, 34 different languages. What do you think about that new screensaver? Let me know down below in the comments section. Now let's talk about window management in macOS Monterey. So a couple of new features here that I appreciated. So we're going to run in split view here with 2 windows. I have my Safari window and my Finder window. Now watch what you can do here in macOS Monterey. You can actually swap out full screen windows for another. So replace, just like that. Select the new one, just like that. You can do the same thing on the other side as well. So just hover over the green stoplight and select replace tiled window. And then select your other application. I don't know why it's showing black there on that side. I think it's just a little bug, but typical for early versions of macOS. Now you see right here another split view setup, and watch what we can do now. We can make this window full screen, and watch what happens. It makes this window full screen, but it also forces the other into full screen as well. So that is a new feature in macOS Monterey. Now let's talk about another. So when you go into full screen, normally your menu bar is hidden, right? Auto hide is enabled by default, but now you have the option to actually disable auto hide in full screen applications. So go to System Preferences, go up to Dock and Menu Bar, and then below you'll see automatically hide and show the menu bar in full screen. Just uncheck that, folks. Just uncheck it. That's all you got to do. Now you can see when you go into full screen, the menu bar is still displayed. Super simple, super easy. Let's talk about the Finder now. So in the Finder, you get some not so insignificant go-to folder enhancements. So you get a brand new design. You also get enhanced autocomplete functionality. So it's easier to go in here and browse and find exactly what you want. So that is the go-to folder enhancements, but it doesn't stop there. In Monterey, if you hover over a file or folder while holding the Option key, you can easily view the file path. Macintosh HD, users, Jeff, library. It makes it easy to find out exactly where this guy is. And it doesn't stop there. You can actually right-click on any of these locations and perform specific actions, such as opening that location directly in a terminal or copying the path name. So handy, folks. So go ahead and let's open that up in terminal. We'll go directly to the users folder, just like that. Super simple, super easy. Now, you can also hold the Shift key to see or navigate to subfolders, just like that. That's really slick. So, I mean, there's some definite quality of life enhancements in macOS Monterey as far as the Finder is concerned. Let me know what you guys think. And in the sidebar, you'll notice a new iCloud collaboration folder that contains all shared documents and displays information such as invitation status, the person who last modified the file, etc. Now, notifications get several enhancements in macOS Monterey, starting with the fresh coat of paint. Notifications look a lot better this go round. What do you guys think? Nice large icons, very legible, easy to see at a glance what the notification pertains to. You can also mute notifications. Just right click. You can select mute for 1 hour, mute for today, or turn off notifications altogether. So let's mute for 1 hour, podcast, and then right click. We can unmute just like that. And you'll also appreciate contact photos for people with larger icons as well. So, I mean, that doesn't exactly look like me, but okay, that'll work. Now let's talk about some of the other notifications improvements. starting with the ability to receive time-sensitive notifications. So if you go into settings, go into notifications and focus, you'll see here under calendar, for instance, allow time-sensitive alerts. So even if you're in a focus mode, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you can make sure those important notifications still get to you. And we'll expand on focus modes, like I said, a little bit later. Now let's talk about one of my favorite new features, AirPlay to Mac. So your Mac basically acts like an AirPlay 2 destination. You can see here my Mac Mini. So I can use that as an AirPlay 2 speaker for Apple Music. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect to it like that. And now my music starts playing on my Mac. The mini speaker is pretty terrible, but if I was using this on an iMac, it would sound fairly good. Now you can also AirPlay videos directly to your display. Just like this is going to look great on the Pro Display XDR connected to that Mac Mini. So this is a wonderful new addition to macOS. And not only that, you can also connect hardwired with a lightning cable, even if you aren't connected to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything, and still AirPlay to your connected Mac. That is awesome. Now let's talk about live text. So in Photos, you can literally highlight text. So this is a photo, just wanted to prove it to you, but you can literally just simply do like that and copy text or look up text or translate text right there from anywhere. So this applies to any photo with text in it. You can simply copy that text just like that. And of course, live text is prominently featured in iOS, but also very handy on macOS. Now let's talk about Translate, because last year the big deal with Big Sur was the ability to have translation baked into Safari, right? But now translation is actually everywhere within macOS, just like it is on iOS. So all you need to do, we'll go back and switch this back over to Japanese, just like that. So view original. So all you need to do is highlight some text from a foreign language, right click and select translate. So we'll just do that right here. Right click, translate, bam. You can even play it back, even switch the translated languages, etc. Now let's talk about privacy. Here's one important new privacy update, and that is this little indicator. See, that little dot is a privacy indicator telling you that, hey, your microphone or your camera has been used, and it'll actually tell you the apps associated with the usage. So I just opened voice memos. I'm going to go back up in here. And we'll see, click right here. And you can see ScreenFlow has been using the microphone and voice memos has been using a mic. Now here's something I know you guys will appreciate. That is the ability to access your passwords, not just from Safari like you have been forced to do in the past. So you go to Safari Preferences, go to Passwords, right? But now you'll notice that passwords are handily located within System Preferences. So there is actually a section within System Preferences. So let's go ahead and navigate over there. Open up System Preferences, and you see right here, Passwords. So you simply click that and you can access all your passwords just like you would be through System Preferences through Preferences in Safari. So here are all your passwords. Obviously I've blinked them out, but you can import passwords directly to here, and you can also export your passwords. These will be exported, of course, in plain text, so just be careful on doing that. And yeah, so those are a couple of the really handy new features in macOS Monterey related to password/security. But here is actually my favorite: the ability to set up two-factor authentication one-time passcodes that are natively integrated within macOS. So you can actually go into the password section, add a setup key from any service that has two-factor authentication enabled, and then you can log into your favorite websites using that one-time password. It is super nice and super simple. So we're going to go into Twitter, enable two-factor, go ahead and paste in the code here to activate. And then once we do that, we can just go ahead and click OK. So now I'm verified. So I can just log in with my password. All right, log in. And here it is, verification code for Twitter. You just simply use Touch ID. It automatically submits that code. It is so simple to log in now. I love this. Now let's talk about focus. So this is basically do not disturb on steroids. So just venture up to your control center, enable your focus mode. In this case, do not disturb. But as you can see, there are several other focus modes ready to go, and you can actually add your own custom ones if you want to do that. So to disable, just click like that. And now let's enable a different focus mode. So I can enable work, for instance, or I can enable sleep. So let's go ahead and enable work. Just click it. And now You can see I can do it for 1 hour or until this evening. Let's enable sleep or study. And the cool thing is you can set up your own focus modes. Like I said, you can customize them. If you go into system preferences, go to notifications and focus, click the focus tab, and there you'll see all your various modes. You can remove those or add additional ones pertaining to the specific things that you want to focus on. So in this case, if you want to focus on gaming or mindfulness or personal or reading, actually, let's go ahead and add that reading because I do need to focus on that, as you'll see a little bit later on this video. Sort of an inside joke there. But as you can see, I have reading. You can just enable it like that. You can also set up to allow notifications from certain people or certain applications if you want to do that, because by default, it will just basically block out everything except for time-sensitive stuff. So go in here and add an application that I can receive notifications from. I'll go ahead and select the Messages app. I want to receive notifications still while reading. Let's add mail-in messages. And one of the cool things about Focus is that you can share your focus across all devices. So if I enable the reading focus, that reading focus enables on all my connected devices like my iPhone, my iPad, etc. So we're all on the same page. I don't have to enable that if I don't want to, but it's nice to have that. So you can go into study, you can enable study right there, and that will enable study across all my devices. Just like that. Now, you can also share your focus status. That'll tell people that, hey, I have my notifications silenced, and it'll allow people to notify you anyway if they really need to get through. But that's nice because it'll maybe prompt people not to bother you if you're truly busy. Now, you can also have automation. So you can turn on a location-based automation, a time-based automation, or an app-based automation. You can switch between the three there as well. But here, since I'm reading, why not make it so that whenever I launch books, the reading focus is enabled, right? Makes sense. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on the books. You'll notice, watch that. Reading focus automatically enables just like that. Now, universal control, unfortunately, is not available with the initial version of macOS Monterey, but I was, thanks to a little, I won't call it a hack, but thanks to some plist editing, I was able to test out universal control. Basically, this allows you with one mouse and one keyboard to control multiple devices that are near your Mac. So for instance, I have an iMac here, I can control that. I have a MacBook on the other side, I can control that with one mouse, one keyboard, and I can move between the two. I can even move files between the two applications. I can't move applications between the two apps because these are still two separate computers. But nonetheless, I think universal control is going to be very popular once it does launch later this fall. What do you guys think? Apple has enhanced its paid iCloud service, now calling it iCloud Plus, and it has several benefits. So first of all, you have private relay, which is currently in beta, and you can enable this right from the macOS Apple ID preferences. And what this will do is keep your internet activity private. It'll hide your IP address and browsing activity in Safari and protects your unencrypted internet traffic so that no one, including Apple, can see your browsing activity. You also have the ability to maintain your general location for your IP address so that websites can provide local content still. Now, the next big feature for iCloud Plus is Hide My Email, which isn't technically new. It's been around for a little bit, but here it's more integrated, I should say, within macOS, and it's very nice, actually. This allows you to create basically spoofed email addresses that will forward to your real email address so you're not getting spam. And when you're setting up a new account, for instance, it'll automatically prompt you in Safari to use Hide My Email. So it's a very seamless experience. You just go ahead and use that, and it'll automatically populate that email address in the email field. Now, iCloud Plus also brings forth the ability to use custom domains with your iCloud account. So here I have jeff@duckybenjamin.com. Don't ask why, but it works. I've tested it out. I appreciate the ability to bring my own domains to iCloud. That's one of the things that kept me from really using iCloud before, and that's nice to have. Now, there are some accessibility improvements in macOS. You can add an image description to markup, which is nice. Just click the little markup button or the image description button and then put in your description and then done. And so VoiceOver will be able to read those. You'll also be able to add descriptions to your signature as well. So I'll just go ahead and sign my doctor's signature there, and then I can go ahead and enter a description for my signature that VoiceOver can interpret as well. So Jeff, signature. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about a couple other accessibility features. So go into accessibility and system preferences, go to display, go to pointer. You can customize your pointer. I mean, who hasn't wanted to be able to do that? You can customize the outline color, the fill color, even the size. So that's pretty cool. What do you guys think? All right, let's talk about one more accessibility feature. That is the ability to have more or improved full keyboard access. So now you can basically navigate macOS, everything about it, with just your keyboard. If you wanted to do that, it is possible. So many commands to use now in macOS Monterey. All right, so FaceTime obviously gets the big improvement with AirPlay. We'll talk about that in another video once more AirPlay compatible apps and everything gets rolled out completely with that. But here in macOS, you do get some notable FaceTime updates, such as the ability to enable portrait mode for, now obviously this isn't me speaking right here, so just want to make sure I'm not confusing you guys. It's just me speaking on a pre-recorded video. But here you can enable portrait mode and you can see the background gets blurry. And then if I disable it, the background goes back to normal. So that's kind of a nice new feature in FaceTime for macOS and iOS 15. So you also have the different FaceTime microphone modes. So you can choose between standard, voice isolation, and wide spectrum. Standard's basically a mix of the two. Voice isolation will better isolate your voice from background sounds, and wide spectrum will keep those background sounds if you want that ambiance. You also have the ability to create FaceTime links and send them to anyone, including, yes, indeed, Android users. You can do that. So here in this example, I'm going ahead and visiting that FaceTime link within Safari, and now I have FaceTime in Safari. So basically, in macOS, in iOS, now you have FaceTime anywhere. FaceTime's open now, sort of, right? You don't get all the cool features that you get with native FaceTime, but it is so nice to be able to finally invite others outside of the Apple ecosystem to a FaceTime video chat. Now, this is emphasized by the ability to embed FaceTime links directly within meetings. So now it doesn't matter who receives your meeting, they can join your FaceTime just like that. Now, the Messages app gets tons of new improvements, headlined by Shared With You, which will automatically surface shared material in selected apps. So for instance, I can share photos, I can share websites. You can see right here, Share With You. It appears right there in Safari. So a link that was shared here in the TV app, a link from Jeff. Here in the podcast app, you can see Share With You. And then when you click it, you get inline location for that share. So you can actually reply directly to that share. And you can say, hey, I really enjoyed that podcast. That was one of the most excellent podcasts ever. You should probably subscribe. But here you can see Share With You within the News app as well. And one of my favorite new Messages app features, especially on iOS, but here on macOS as well, you now have stacks of photos when you share multiple photos. So that is a stack. Easily view all three of those at the same time. And you can see they're all grouped together. So you can easily swipe through or navigate through each of those photos. But what if you share 4 or more photos? So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to drop 5 here. And you're going to see it shares as a stack, which you can swipe through with your trackpad or mouse. Pretty spiffy there. Even better on iOS. And in Monterey, you can also quickly and easily download a group of photos and save them to your iCloud photos on all your devices. Now, Memoji does get a significant upgrade, starting in headline by clothing. So yes, you can actually go in, customize clothing, customize colors, up to 3 different colors, depending on the article of clothing that you select. So if you select something like that, you get 3 colors. Looking spiffy, and then those articles of clothing will be showcased in your full body or sort of 3/4 body stickers. So you can drag those stickers directly to your messages with the clothing that you customize. But that's not all. You also have separate eye colors now. So you can add a separate eye color and have 2 different color eyes. I think this looks really cool. And you also have new glasses, new eyewear. So you have stars, hearts, and old school glasses. And then you can go and customize the color of the frames and the lenses separately. Now there's also brand new Memoji stickers. So you can go in here, you'll find several new stickers. I'm going to tell you which one's my favorite though. I love the head in the clouds, and I also love the little light bulb above the head. That doesn't happen to me too much, but I do appreciate that. So there's that one. And you also have support for tricolor headwear. So depending on the piece of headwear you choose, you can select a main, second, and third color. So this one, let's go ahead and switch that third color up. There we go. And accessibility comes to Memoji. You have an oxygen tube, you have cochlear implants, and you also have a padded helmet as well. So that's a nice addition to Memoji. And Memoji comes to the lock screen as well, and actually it'll smile at you when you first wake your computer up. It'll go to sleep if you take too long, and it even will chastise you with a head shake like that when you enter the wrong password. I think that's pretty cute. What do you guys think? So of course, Safari has been steeped in controversy over this beta period, both on iOS and in macOS, more specifically the tabs. People hate the way the tab bars have looked. Apple has updated them to look a little better and easier to decipher and discern, so that's appreciated. But here's the big standout feature for me for macOS, and that is tab groups. So you see I have the whole 9 to 5 Mac family of websites here. I want to create a new tab group with all these tabs. So I'll just call it 9 to 5 family like that. And now all those tabs reside in that tab group. I can go to a new start page. Let's visit some EV websites. We'll go to Tesla, we'll go to Rivian, we'll go to Lucid, and then we'll create a new tab group with these 3 tabs and call it EVs. So just click the new tab group button and we'll call it EVs. All right, so we have 2 tab groups. Let's go back to our start page and let's go to just another website. Let's try New York Times. I don't know. All righty. So we have 1 tab with New York Times. Then we have our 2 tab groups with EVs. So I can quickly switch between that tab group, visit all the tabs within that group, then go to my 9 to 5 family, visit all the tabs within that group. If you haven't checked out Drum DJ, be sure to do so. Connect the Watts, be sure to do so. But are you getting it? Are you seeing how this can help with organization and really keeping like-minded tabs in their own groups? That's so handy. You can even create a new empty tab group, and I'll call this one sports, and then eventually I'll continue populating that with different sports related websites. So obviously the big one that stands out, ESPN. So there I got 3 tab groups: sports, EVs, 9 to 5 family. And you can see just organization wise, this is cool. And this is helped by this new sidebar, which is very nice. Keeps everything organized, your tab groups, your receive links, your bookmarks, etc. And then you can still, even with that closed, you can still access all your tab groups here. You can see which tab group you're currently in at the top upper left hand corner. So that's very handy. Now, let's talk about those tabs again, because Apple has gone back and forth, refining, trying to update, just trying to make sure everyone's happy with these tabs. And I don't think you're going to make everyone happy, but I do think it's a good compromise. So if we go into Safari preferences, go to tabs, you see the tab layout option defaults to separate, but you can switch to the compact view, which was sort of controversial. So the compact view basically combines the address bar and the tab bar into one. So every tab is actually an address bar. You see that? So if I click a tab, it'll switch to that tab, and then I click the tab again, I can actually choose the website that I want associated with that tab, right? So it's the address bar and the tabs combined. Now in macOS Monterey, you also have improved privacy. So now your IP address is also hidden from trackers along with the websites you visit. Now, if you've been following the iOS 15 updates, you'll know basically what to expect for Notes in macOS Monterey. Notes gets access to tags, which is a wonderful feature for staying organized. So here I can create tags, just add a hashtag, then type the name of the tag right after the hashtag, and that will create that tag automatically, highlighted in yellow, and then it will add it to the tag browser. So you can see Monterey there. And if we go down to the tag browser in the bottom left-hand corner, there we can basically sort or basically filter on one or more of these tags. So if I have Monterey selected, I can also select feature, which will filter on both of those, or I can uncheck Monterey, select iOS 15. It's a great way to stay organized. And to help with that, there's also support for tags with smart folders. So I can go in here, name that smart folder, in this case Monterey, and then add the Monterey tag to it. So now any note items that have Monterey will automatically appear in this smart folder. And for collaborative notes, you also get highlights. So this will allow you to view edit times and dates with highlighted text color-coded to match collaborators. And as you can see down below, Notes also supports mentions. Just mention the person you want to notify. Now, you also have the note activity, which will show you what others have added to a shared note while you were away. Quick Note was a feature that was first found on iPadOS, but now here in macOS, you can highlight some text, for instance, add to Quick Note, and there you create a Quick Note right from that highlighted text. And what's cool is that when you visit that website, you'll see the related highlighted text in yellow like that. And there's also a specific section within the Notes app for quick notes right there at the top, just like that. And you can click on there to open that site. You can also access quick notes with a hot corner, which is kind of interesting. So to set that up, you can just go to System Preferences. Hot corners are one of my go-to staples in macOS. So you go to System Preferences, Mission Control, click Hot Corners, and there you'll see Quick Note. Now the Shortcuts app comes to macOS and macOS Monterey. So you'll find it under the Other folder, and you can see once you launch it, you have the gallery with shortcuts specifically made for macOS. So very accommodating new Shortcuts app here. But what's interesting is that you can sync shortcuts between your iOS devices and your Mac, and even run shortcuts originally created on your iPhone right on your Mac, just like I did there. Random wallpaper, that was something I created for my iPhone back in the day. You can also add shortcuts to your dock, just like that, also the menu bar. And not just that, shortcuts are so much easier to share now. You simply copy iCloud link, share, and you'll see it right here. Once I visit that link, this is what the recipient will see, so they can easily add that shortcut. And it's also easier to build shortcuts thanks to next action suggestions. So this will help you to see what action you might add next as you build out your shortcut. Now the Maps app, like on iOS, gets a big improvement, starting with the sort of Google Earth style globe view. You can go in there, spin the globe, zoom in, and get some really nice 3D details on various different types of topology. Here you get some enhanced detail for certain cities like San Francisco, which just provides a ridiculous amount of detail in 3D. You see crosswalks, you see underpasses, all in 3D space, trees, and more. Super impressive. Look at that elevation. There's also an update to the Books app. Not a huge update, but you do get some features previously exclusive to iOS, like reading goals. Remember I talked about reading earlier? Well, I probably need to up my goal a little bit, right? 5 minutes a day, but you do get support for reading goals, and you also get support for what to read as well. And reading now, by the way. You also get an updated search interface, so improved search results. Yeah. So Find My also gets some updates. Number one, you get live locations for friends and family, so you can see continuous streaming updates, providing a sense of direction and speed. Now, although they aren't quite working here in my example, you do get some Find My widgets. So you get a items widget and a people's widget, a people widget, and you get Find My network support for AirPods. So let's talk about gaming. Whenever you download games now, they will appear in a game folder automatically. So if you're an Apple Arcade subscriber, you'll definitely appreciate that. There's also a friend request inbox and improved multiplayer experience. Now the Mail app gets Protect Mail activity, and it works by hiding your IP address and loading remote content privately in the background. So this should help reduce the effectiveness of email trackers. Now the News app gets a redesigned news feed with more prominent publish times and bylines. You can also save and share more easily. The Photos app gets visual lookup support in the enhanced metadata view. Here you go. So if I click the info button, you'll notice a little flower because it recognizes it's a flower on the scene. It'll tell you the type of flower, the type of animal, etc. Now, iCloud syncing on that initial sync is much faster in the Photos app on Monterey, and now you can actually import photos from an additional library into an existing library. So here I'm going to review this library for import, and I can just select photos from that library and import into my main library. Really nice addition. And the Podcast app gets better personalized recommendations to help you discover new podcasts about topics that you are passionate about. Like the Notes app, the Reminders app gains support for tags in macOS Monterey. So I'm just going to type out a new reminder and add a tag in there, MagSafe. And we'll do another one here. Review new version of Final Cut Pro, tagged. So what's cool, again, you get the tag browser, so you can filter on those specific tags, one or more, like that. And you also get, yes indeed, just like Notes, smart lists. So you can make a smart list, just give it a name, I'll call it YouTube, give it a color, you can customize the icon, and you can see you can filter on all sorts of different things, including tags, and I'll just add a YouTube tag just like that. So there we go. There's our smart list for YouTube. You can also show and easily clear completed items. So I'm just going to clear all completed and delete those completed items. That cannot be undone. And better natural language support in macOS Monterey for reminders and additional suggestions, quick suggestions. So Final Cut Pro Review, now you can quickly suggest tags as well, like that. And last but not least, voice memos has been updated in macOS Monterey, so it gains support for faster playback speed and also skip silence. So if I go up here to the settings button, I can adjust the playback speed, I can enable skip silence, and now when I play back, you can see how fast it goes, and you can see it skip over those parts that are silent. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been a look at the top macOS Monterey features. What are your thoughts? What's your favorite feature? Let me know down below in the comments section. If you appreciated this video, leave a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more macOS content like this. This is Jeff with 9 to 5 Mac. Special thanks to MacPaul's Clean My Mac X for sponsoring 9 to 5 Mac on YouTube. If you just got a new MacBook Pro, this is the perfect companion app to always keep it running in tip-top shape. Clean My Mac X includes tons of tools to help you analyze and delete computer junk, saving you precious disk space. And it's also great for protection against Mac-specific malware and adware. For the next 2 weeks, MacPaul is offering viewers a 5% discount. Click the link in the description to get it today, and special thanks to MacPaul for sponsoring 9 to 5 Mac.